And welcome everybody, it's Dan, hope you're well today. So welcome to the podcast, first of all. If you've not listened to it before, then welcome. If you haven't listened to it before, thank you very much for joining us once more. In today's session, I want to talk to you about websites and CRM, which is customer relationship management. It's basically a database for your customers. And we're going to cover what we do. We're going to talk about what you could use. We're going to also talk about which one to get first. Like, should you be getting a website first? Should you be getting a CRM first? Can you create landing pages off CRMs? And yes, you can create landing pages off CRMs. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you don't want to do that. And also some of the cheaper ones won't do that either. The ideal solution, let's start with that. So the ideal solution would be a website and a CRM where you have the website and then you've got specific landing pages. So for example, on one of our websites, which actually we'll show you, if I can just bring it up, we've got, oh gosh, I can't type today, holiday acquisitions. I don't know why I can't do this. Shocking today. I don't know why I can't type. Hotel. There it is. Right, okay. So let me share this screen for you. Okay, so one of our websites is this one. I'll show you this on a second screen. So one of the businesses that we run is a hotel acquisition business. And on here, so you see the two things at the top, sell your hotel for free or buy a hotel. We actually haven't got specific landing pages. We have what's called a pop-up. And then the contact details are on there. And again, or if you go to our main website, actually, let's show you the website audit page. Oh, that's website design. Website audit. This is an example of a landing page. And you'll notice, by the way, you've got forms on each one of these. And the forms are all designed to get customers' data. And the reason why we use our website as an example is it's a really good reason to show you why people have more trust in this website. I'm going to cover trust shortly. But here, this is just an example of a very quick landing page, a very quick and dirty landing page. It's got one thing to do, and that one thing is to get people's contact details. And that's the one thing that we want them to do. You can have the pop-up as well, but most CRMs won't do this, of course. You'll just have a very bad landing page, and that's not necessarily something that you want. So let me bring you back to me. So when we're talking about which one do you want, ideally you want them both. And so you should have a website and you should have a CRM, but obviously when you're first starting out in business, you can't really afford both of those, and we'll cover which one is the best solution for beginners just a little bit further down. But all businesses have a website. Like, you think of a successful business, even if a website's done in 1998, they still got a website. It might not be, might not look very good, but it's still there and it still exists. And so you should have a website. And I see a lot of people, and they're starting out in business and they're not committing fully to that business. And it's like, let's take property sourcing, because I know that's where the lead came from. Not the lead, the question came from, a property sourcer. You're either going to do property sourcing or you're not. And if you are, you've got to get compliant. And if you are, you want to have a website and a CRM and business cards and all the other things that go with having a business. Doesn't matter if you're a plumber or a plasterer or a butcher or whatever. Even, people are like, well, why would a butcher have a website? Even better, you could put special offers on a website and then people can order on an evening to come in to collect the next day. Like, you're going to make so much more money doing stuff like that. And people are still living in the 1980s where they can't kind of think about how they want their business to run. And the more that you can do, not face to face with people, i.e. online, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to close business. So you should be having a website. regardless. And also, I should add, one of my little bugbears about websites is that people don't know how many visitors they're actually getting. So not only should you have a website, but you should have some search engine optimization. Let me rephrase that. You should have some Google Analytics on there, and then you can start optimizing your website for whatever location you happen to be in with whatever product you happen to sell. But you've got to have a website. And the other reason why you've got to have a website is that it's about building trust and authority. So if we go back to my website here, let me just share my second screen again, because I like doing that. On my screen here, first of all, there's a whole bunch of content. First of all, including latest content and so on, loads of Google reviews, loads of reviews, loads and loads of content. And then if we go back up to the top here, and we go to the full marketing team. So, okay, people are like, I wonder what that is. And then they go to it, and there's lots of stuff there. Oh, wow, okay, there's loads there, yeah. And then let's go look at some case studies. This is building trust, and it's building authority. So real-life client results, these are the increases in traffic. These are client video examples. These are some of the case studies that we've got, which are pretty cool. These are all our website design clients, of which there's trillions of them. And then let's look at latest content, for example. Do you think people are going to look to see how often you're creating content? Well, this was released on the 6th. This was the 6th. This was the 6th. The 5th, the 2nd, the 20th. So we've actually got a few gaps, but it's still not bad, right? There is actually quite a lot of content in there. And little mental note to myself. We've got a bunch of content, but we've just not had time to actually release onto the website. And there should be at least one a day. And then people can book in a free strategy session. And again, this is a really good example of a landing page. There's only one thing for you to do. Fill in the bloody form, right? So this is about building trust. And the way that you build trust is by having lots and lots of pages with lots of content that shows that you've actually been around for quite some time. You're not one of these businesses that's just set up last week, you've gone on a weekend course, you've created this business, and you might not be here the following week. And having a website will allow you to build authority and trust. And in 2023, one of the biggest things that a company needs right now is trust and authority. I mean, the trust is ridiculous, right? Like, everybody lies. We've got the Metropolitan Police lying today, saying they now regret arresting peaceful demonstrators. We know that that's bullshit. We know you don't regret anything, that it was a very much a thought-out campaign against peaceful protesting against the monarchy this weekend. Everybody knows that. What you're lying to me for? And look, if the police are lying to you, everybody else is lying to you, right? So you've got to get over that. And we know that politicians lie, and we know that business people lie. And so you've got to be able to put yourself into a position where you're able to build trust over a period of time. One of the reasons why we do so many lives is because we know that when we go live, we can't hide anywhere. Like, this is us, this is who we are, and we can't hide. We have to be authentic, and we have to build trust for our customers to want to buy from us. If we can't build trust, they're not going to buy from us. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about cost then, because obviously cost is a consideration when you're considering a website or a CRM. So the cost of a website, like we do them for like $3.95, depends on how many pages you need and how complicated it is and whether you need e-commerce and all that stuff, right? So we do that, and it's quite a good cost. I think it's a good investment in your future. If you're going to use a CRM like ActiveCampaign just put their prices up, and it can actually work out to be quite expensive. It's per month, but you're talking £50 to £70 a month, possibly for what, 12 months? Suddenly that's almost like £1,000 a year. So you can have some costs if you're going down the ActiveCampaign route. Now, I would actually recommend ActiveCampaign anyway. I think you should commit. If you're going to build a business, you should be absolutely committing to building this business so that in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you've still got this business and you can actually sell it if that's what you want to do. But cost when you're first starting up is obviously a consideration. So what are you going to do? So this is what I think you should do, which actually leads me on to best solution. You want a website, number one. And number two, you want to go to MailChimp. Now, let me just give you a caveat about MailChimp. MailChimp sucks, right? It is awful, but it's free. we'll take it for now. Just be aware that when someone fills in a form, you can't get MailChimp to email you to say that someone's filled in a form, right? That's what the cost of being free will give you. Now, you might lose that lead because they might go elsewhere because you didn't get notified. It took you a couple of days or a week to see that someone's filled in a form. Whereas with Active Campaign, you can set it up to send you a little email to say, oh, Dan, someone sent a web form off this web page and this is what they're asking for. And then you can follow up with them. So, yeah, you can go down the MailChimp route. And that might be an ideal solution if you're very absolutely just starting out. But 100% you need to move that money into buying a website. There's no question in my mind that you should have a website. Now, something on the website is this. If you're going to buy a website saying something very specific to what you do, I think that could be a problem. Like my website's in my name, right? So like I could go be a butcher tomorrow and I could have Daniel Latto the butcher, right? And we just send people to that exact same website, daniellatto.co.uk. Or I could be a triathlete, a professional triathlete in my dreams, right? And I could send people to the daniellatto.co.uk triathlete website, and it's got everything about me being a triathlete. I can port that website around with me. Whereas if you've got a website called Best Butchers in Leeds, or Best Triathlete in Leeds, or Web Design Leeds, I can only use that domain name for those specific tasks. And so when you're first starting out, and I know I'm a bit of a caveat here, I'm saying that you should commit, and then I'm saying don't commit, get a website that you can change. Because I know if you're starting out as a property sourcer, for example, it's really hard. Firstly, when you first get going, it is really hard. It can pay off over a period of time, but you have to be patient and do all the work. But we know for a fact that most people don't do the work anyway. So the ideal solution is a generic kind of domain name, could well be in your name, and get yourself MailChimp to begin with. And if you can actually afford it, go get yourself something like Active Campaign. So look, this is a really short one today because we're absolutely rammed. I can't even express how busy we are at the moment. Which is a good thing, okay? It just means our lives have to be a little bit shorter. But go out and go get yourself your website. Go get your business cards. Go get everything else that you need. Like, I don't really think there's much else you need. Get yourself a phone number if you haven't got one. Get yourself an old APA set up so that people can answer the phones if you're not available. All of those things. Just allocate, £100 a month to ongoing costs, and just allocate that. It's a cost of doing business. But go get yourself your website and go get yourself MailChimp if you're keeping costs as low as possible. Hope that's useful. We'll catch up with you tomorrow, and have yourself a wicked day. Take care.